Hello dear all beautiful students, welcome all to our today's session. Once again we have completed chapter 14 and I think that only chapter 13 was left in class 8, but yesterday some students messaged me, sir, chapter 4 is left. I also think that maybe chapter 4 is left for you, so we will start the chapter 4 at first, then after completing this one, then we will go to the chapter 13. So chapter 4, on the basis of that chapter 4, what are the criteria and what the things, very important things in case of the plant reproduction type. So very first time we try to understand what is reproduction. So very first one, reproduction. If we go through understanding about that, the reproduction. So dear students, look at here, you and we, everyone, every living things by born create the new generation and having the new offspring is going on there. So on the basis of that part, what we actually going on through and understanding parts on that case, that is actually by the process is actually reproduction. Okay, so generally we can give a definition from here. The process by which offspring or newborn babies, any you can write anything, offspring can be created and known for, that is called the reproduction. Normally reproduction at the times and types are very many of the way we can write about the reproduction, but simply what we think about that, what we actually thinking by having that the new generation, new offspring, new babies, the process by which we can get this one, that is called the reproduction. So reproduction is general phenomenon but very natural phenomenon, but very important. On this case we know about that which way it may be. In case of the plant, it is total chapter. In case of the plant, actually the new plant can be created by a process. It can be that process is termed as the reproduction, and reproduction types are of two kinds. In case of the plants also, one is the asexual reproduction, and another one is the sexual reproduction. The term actually ensuring here asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction, which one is actually, this one is also have two kinds. We have seen here, that is spore production, and another one is the vegetative reproduction, okay, and sexual reproduction having that kinds with mating of male and female gamete. We will try to understand on going on that, mating by male and female gamete. And their asexual reproduction is actually termed as the spore production. That means some plants can have production of that spore and getting the new plants, and someone have vegetative reproduction of any kinds of the plant parts like leaves, stem, bark, anything, any parts of the plant can take part in the reproduction, and that part can ensuring the new plant to create. So that is the vegetative reproduction. Generally this is about the reproduction and its type. We will go through discussion in total about that one. Reproduction, what we have written, that is the process by which offspring can be created and known for, that is the reproduction. And this is the two kinds, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction are termed by two process and two-way spore production and vegetative reproduction, and sexual reproduction, actually mating by male and female gamete after production. That one we can go through understanding in case of the plant how it is going on through. I have seen that many of you joining there. Nahar Kaji Kamrun, Noor Akhtar, Nargis Akhtar, Samir Hussain, actually he was the Samir Hussain, Adrito, then Aisha Siddiqa, Musab, Sohel joining, Yamin Islam joining, everyone, Walaikum Salam and good morning. So this is the general category, general kinds of the reproduction types. Now we will try to understand about the specific one by one, and that is asexual reproduction, very first one. Asexual reproduction, that means there is two kinds. Single parent, it can be asexual reproduction is, of course, any offspring can be created from single parents or inherit. We can go through understand about that one. And the reproduction, asexual reproduction, the parts of the plant can take part in the reproduction. Parts of plants take part in reproduction. Parts of plant take part in the reproduction. Then no meiosis, cell division, no fertilization will be there. No fertilization. There will be only, we can go through understanding about the lower plants. Advanced types of plants, what we have seen around us, the big trees, mango, jackfruit, the others, all the big trees are the advanced types of plant, and lower plants, algae, fungi, okay, algae, fungi, these are the lower plants. These on that case their reproduction types is asexual reproduction. I have written 4 important points about asexual reproduction. Any parts of the plant can take part in the reproduction is the asexual reproduction. No meiosis cell division, since in the cell division process, in the cell division chapter, we'll learn that meiosis cell division actually termed as the male and female gamete formation. Since asexual reproduction, there will be no male and female gamete production will be there. So no fertilization also be done. Fertilization, that means no mating in between them, the male and female gamete. And in case of the lower plants like algae, fungi, these types of lower plant can take part this asexual reproduction. So generally we understood about what is the asexual reproduction and what can be the features and what can be the condition for asexual reproduction. Now we will go through understand about the two process. Actually, first one is the spore production and second one is the vegetative reproduction. So we will go to the term of asexual reproduction. First one, spore production. So now let's go. Spore production. Asexual reproduction types is spore production, The process of spore production is called sporulation. The process of spore production called sporulation. Very important term, asking for 1 marks, what is a sporulation. Sometimes if you not known to that parts, you cannot give the answer properly. Sporulation, the process by which a spore can be produced, or process of a spore production is called sporulation. This is very important in the term exam, and although in any kinds of term exam, and in previous year JSC exam we have seen that it is asking 1 marks what is a sporulation. If it is asking what is a sporulation, that times you will write the production of a spore by which process is called a sporulation. Excuse me. Then we will go through understanding about their process of that case, a sporulation process, in which way we can go through a sporulation process, and their numerous numbers in going on through. Okay. Somatic cell contain spore in a sac like structure called sporangium. Very important. Then spore sack is called sporangium, contain numerous spore. It is very important, and not only for that one. Yes. Sporangium have two of the types we have seen, endosporangium and exosporangium. Endosporangium and exosporangium. Spore inside and spore outside. Spore inside and spore outside. This one. Okay. The exosporangiums, always it can be termed as the conidium. These are the important term for there. It is asking for 1 marks. Okay. Yes, we can give the example of this one, the mucor, penicillium, etc. Look at here. And now I will make you understand. At first, look at here, the spore. It is a spore sac. The lots of spore can be there. Suppose this one. Okay, they can produce the numerous number of spores. And the layer is broken. It can be formed and got outside. Just leave outside, and we can see in very last case, there will be the structure of like that. Not all the things can be the similar way. It can be the spore like structure. I have drawn a figure. You need to remind this one for understanding. Okay, look at here. I have drawn a figure also, and make you understand, try to understand for you. Yes, Many of you also joining later. Imadul Haq, Nasreen Akhtar, Rashida Rashu, Sardar Rubayat Karim, everyone, Walaikum Salam. Look at here. What the important process of spore production or sporulation is going on there. It is very important to know about this process because 3 marks question on total it is asking for. Not every time it will be the same, but many of the time it is very important things. Sometimes one cell, one spore can be divided in this way. Look at here, asexual reproduction, since spore production is one of the very important points and important parts. So process of spore production is normally we call the sporulation. The spore sac, this is the sac-like structure where the spore will be stored, that is called the sporangium. Sporangium contain the numerous number of spore. We draw just very simple, but numerous number of spores can contain exospore and endospore. Exospore means when the spore is inside, that is the endospore, and exospore is the outside. Spore will be go outside is the exospore, and exosporangium can form the conidium. These are called the conidia. Look at here. These are the endosporangium. This is the exosporangium. Outside of the sac, inside of the sac, endosporangium. Outside of the sac, exosporangium, and exosporangium can form the conidia or conidium. And by conidium formation, we have seen this is the fungus or example of fungi, mucor penicillium. They can form conidia in exosporangium outside of the sporangia, outside of the spore sac. So this is the how can we explain this process. Suppose one cell contain a spore, they can be divided to produce many of the spore. It can be increased in number inside the sporangium or spore sac. After sometimes it can be break the outer layer and all the spore can come out and they can form outside of the spore sac or sporangium can produce many of the conidia. Okay, and by conidia formation, the asexual, each and every conidia can be a individual new offspring of mucor penicillium like that. Suppose 1, 2, 3, 4 in one spore, in one plants containing the numerous number of spore and numerous number of new plant can be created. Okay, finally another one time I can make you touch what we actually try to understand, that is the process of spore production is sporulation. Remember here and make it mind. Somatic cell means body cell contain a spore in the spore sac. In the spore sac called a sporangium. This total is called a sporangium. It can be two kinds. Inside a spore containing is the endospore, outside is the exospore, and exospore can form the conidia, not endospore. And by conidia formation, mucor penicillium like fungi, they can reproduce and they can produce their new offspring. So it is very important one for understanding this part. Okay, and so the process one cell, somatic cell can be extended into the numerous number of cell or spore in them, and this numerous number of spore after sometimes the outer layer can be break out and it come out with forming this one the numerous number of spore in the outside exosporangium forming conidia, and each of the conidia can produce the new offspring by the process is called sporulation or spore production. So I make you understand in detail total everything in the sporulation process. So it is your SW to do. What will you do? Your SW is explain the process of sporulation or spore production. Explain the process of sporulation or spore production by drawing the figure. It is very important question for 3 marks. Okay, so my dear students, that's all about today. Everyone stay safe, stay sound. Allah Hafiz.